Hello. Well, good afternoon. So I've managed to get another live stream working. Hopefully, we'll see. So I'm sat here in my railway room, and I've got a locomotive toddling around the track. And I think on your screen you should be able to see my iTrain that I've got on my screen here, and also just on the right hand side there's a camera that covers much of my layout, and you can see me as well. So what I want to do, actually, I've got this train whizzing around. It's just going around the back. I want to what I need to do is to calibrate it in iTrain, which is a desperately unexciting thing to do. But I'm going to try and set it up, and I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing is, as you can see, this class 50 is going around the track. First thing is, let me just drive it round to sort of where's the start of my sort of measuring track. I've got a reasonably straight piece of track. Here we go. It's just coming along here. I've got a reasonably straight and level piece of track, which I use for calibrating locomotives, and the idea is that basically you get the computer to drive the train forwards and backwards a whole bunch of different times on the same piece of track, and you know how long the piece of track is. You can work out how fast it's going, and what you're trying to do is to get an actual scale speed for each speed step. Anyway, I'll stop my train in the right place, roundabout. So let me show you how to do this. So I've got my iTrain here. If I go up to view and speed measurement, I can measure the speed of a locomotive. Now, oh gosh, what have I got here? So at the moment, it's sort of set up. Well, it doesn't really. It's got something for speed step 1. Not sure where that came from, but it doesn't really know the speed for any of the speed steps. Anyway, you set your track up, and there's several different ways you can do this. You can have a special speed measuring device, use 2 feedbacks, which is what I'm using, or you could have like 1 feedback and then 2 others on each side. But anyway, I do 2 feedbacks, and I've just say here what the feedbacks are from your track layout, and then also you set what the distances are for your various for your 2 feedback sort of lengths. Now I found it's quite useful just to give it some figures to start with, otherwise you get in a bit of a muddle. So I happen to know that speed step 1 will come out as about 0.4 miles an hour. So I'm going to set that both forwards and backwards, 0.4. And top speed, probably about, I don't know, 75 miles an hour, something like that. I have had a fiddle with this one already, and I've tweaked the decoder a bit. I've set the sort of maximum speed and so on in that. Anyway, let's give this a go. Now, because I've given it a low speed and a high speed, it's drawn in a speed curve, and that'll be helpful later, because once it's done a test, it then drives the locomotive to the end, ready for the next test. And if it hasn't got a whole speed curve that's even vaguely right, it can sort of drive it too slow and it takes too long. So what we'll do is we've got 126, 127 speed steps. Let's just do one in the middle. All right. So you pick the speed you want to go. I've got this here, change direction. That means it'll do it forwards and backwards. And you can actually change the direction of the locomotive, but I'm set up to do this like the forwards one first. So I'll set to go forwards, and if I just say start, it should drive the loco forwards and backwards at speed step 64, and we'll see how fast it goes. So let's give it a go. And I think something's happening. Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, Jeff. Good to see you. You've caught me on a Sunday bank holiday weekend afternoon, doing not very much. Right. So I think it's done the forwards, and there we go. It's come in with a speed of 36.7 miles an hour, which is actually reasonable. It hasn't made much change to the curve. So actually my guesses of the top and bottom speed weren't bad. There we go. And going backwards 36 miles an hour. So that's quite good that it's gone the same speed forwards and backwards. That's a good start. Now one of the problems I got with this this loco, I've had a right drama with this loco. Broken it and done loads of work on it and stuff. But one of the problems is it's not got the it's not very good at giving like consistent results when I do speed tests on it. So particularly at the higher speeds, and that's a real problem, because if it can't go at a consistent speed, then I can't trust iTrain to know where it is. Anyway, let's give it a go. All right, so we've got that. So now what I'll do like the binary chop. I do halfway between the previous one and the next one, so that'd be 32 and 96. There we go. I'll get it to do those ones. Once it's starting to look like something's vaguely going on, then once it's starting to look like we got a bit of a curve, then you can sort of run through and do every speed step. But yeah, because it's not very consistent. Oh, there we go. All right, let's come up with one. Because it's not very consistent, I can never really trust it. I don't really know. You know, if you do every speed step, it's like fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. Hey, hi, Brian. Good to have you in. Right, let's see, what's it doing? The trouble is, if I look at the screen with the stream, it's sort of, there's a delay, isn't there? So it's not what's actually happening around the back behind it. Yeah, interesting. It'll go, when it's going slow, it'll go slow to about halfway along, and then once it's out of that, it's done that section, it'll then drive itself back to the start for the next test at a different speed. There we go, it's going backwards and forwards a bit. It's not really a great thing to do a live stream on this. It's a sort of really, it's better to do this while you're having a cup of tea. Oh, there you go, it's going a little quicker now. There you go, that's the higher speed. And it's getting a nice sort of S curve, which is what we want. Got to say, this loco in particular is very good at going slowly. I don't really want to calibrate it at the lowest speeds because it will take forever. White wall wheels, one hardcore MOH. Oh, you can't hear me. All right. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Right, what have I got to do about that? I'm too quiet. Let me see if I can turn myself up somehow. All right, let me just fiddle with my computer a bit. Forwarding. I'll type something. Right. What can I do about that? Right. Da-da-da-da. Oops. Volume. Can I turn it up a bit? Does that make it any louder? I don't know. Right, what about that? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Right, what about that? Any louder? I'll leave it at that. No complaints from the rest. Mic gain, yeah. Well, I've tweaked it in OBS, but yeah, hopefully you can hear me now. Right, let me get the train running a few more times. Now, I don't want to do sort of low speed tests because I'll bore you endlessly. So let me set a whole bunch of speeds in here. At least that'll have it going backwards and forwards, and we can see if it's consistent. There we go, and we do the top speed as well. Right, off we go. Hopefully. Yeah. Ooh, much better. Brian says it's much better. Thank you. Right, well, I've discovered a new little thing on my on my OBS setup. Make sure I'm heard. So how was yours New Year? As usual, I was in bed at 10:30. Didn't go to sleep until about 1 o'clock. I always think I'll have an early night and then don't actually get any sleep. Oh, look at that. I've got a like. One like. Thanks, guys. Right, we got this train going backwards and forwards. So the thing I'm anxious about, well, firstly is having sort of consistent results, and you know, and having sort of the same results, whether it's going forwards or backwards, but also having sort of consistent results. Hey, it's Tony, Heritage Line. How you doing? Right, what speed are we doing now? Oh, there we go. Yeah, as long as each higher speed step results in a higher speed, I'm happy. I think what really gets me down is it's supposed to be going fast, but it actually goes slower. I know some of you are asking what happened with this Class 50 loco. So I've obviously got it running. I have actually. I've basically finished a video I made a video of how I fixed it. For some reason, I've got a new version of the video editing software. So I use DaVinci Resolve, and it's made all my text stuff in the video go funny. you right click on speed step 27 and select 5, it'll do it all for you. Is that the thing where it selects every 5th one? I think that's probably good. You're probably right. You're probably right. If I select every 5th one, and that's obviously the sensible way of doing it. But I say I've had so much trouble with this loco just in terms of getting consistent results. I sort of prefer this doing like a binary chop. Do the middle speed, then do the quarter speeds, then do the eighths, and hopefully sort of it doesn't all go funny. Where am I up to? 57. So I think we'll do all right until we get to the higher speeds, and then it's at the higher speeds it all becomes a bit inconsistent. Right. But yeah, no, Jeff, you're right. I'm sure the select 5 steps is the better way of doing it. I think the honest answer to your question, actually, why didn't I do that, is because I couldn't remember the what you do. So you right click on the top speed step, do you? I don't want to fiddle with it now because I'm going to break it. I'll have a look at that once it's finished this run. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So who got something they wanted for Christmas? I don't. No one. Well, no one gives me anything for Christmas anyway, but. Apart from socks. But no one gave me a train or anything. I was a bit, well, I can't say I was disappointed. Didn't expect anything, to be totally honest. Oh, you see, it's going a little bit funny there in the middle. It's not. Let's see what this one is. 76. It's still all right. It's still all right, I think. White Wall Wheels says he bought what he wanted. Did he get some money to buy it with, though? That's the question. So if I get this going, what I really want to do, because I've got 3 locos now, what I really want to do is have the 3 of them dancing around each other around the track. That's my goal. But I can't do that until I've got this thing calibrated and being reliable. No one gave you any money. So you had to buy it yourself. So what did you buy then? Or is that not safe for the internet? Yeah, see, this curve's going a bit wobbly in the middle. And the backwards is definitely a little bit slower than the forwards. Why is that? Why do you get a different speed in different direction? Maybe left, yeah. What decoder am I using? What I do is run the loco speed step maximum. And I'm just running at its correct top speed. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right, Jeff, and that's what I've done. I've set the yeah. I set the I've set CV5, you know, to get that maximum speed. But it's just I don't know, this loco. It's just sometimes it's just a bit inconsistent, and it decides to go at a different speed. Now I don't know. I'm wondering if the reason it's like that is because maybe I have a bad electrical connection from one of the bogies, and so sometimes it does the speed test, but it doesn't detect it's on to the next block until the other bogey makes the electrical connection, and that's why suddenly it appears to be going faster or slower. But I haven't I haven't got any evidence for that from yeah, look at that, what's that forward speed, what's it done now? There you go, 101, and suddenly it's gone slower. Well, what's that all about? But you see, going backwards is the same as well. So, sorry, what decoder am I using? It's a Zemo. I got it off YouTube with the sound. Hold on. Oh. The Zemo MX 659. MX659. There's another one you can get that's got a bit more capacitors on it, but this fits physically fits inside the just under the roof a little bit more comfortably, and I've worked out that maybe I need to add in a keep alive. And there might be room for a keep alive, because along the top of the loco, I've got the speaker at one end, I've got the decoder at the other, and in the middle there's space. So if I can find a keep alive solution that's sort of low enough, and by low I mean less than 4 millimeters high. Yeah, Zemo I like. And I'm thinking actually, I got another, my Jubilee. That's got a Digitrax, I think it's Digitrax controller in it, decoder. And oh, look at the chart on that. It's all over the place. Up, down, up, down. Yeah, but that doesn't. The Zemo ones are really good at low speed. So basically my speed step 1 is like 0.4 miles an hour. It's amazing. It just like creeps along. But it does it really well. Right, I'm behind on the chat. What's going on? White Wall Wheels says you got yourself a hand painted Class 64. I don't even know what a Class 64 looks like, so hold on, let me look that up. Sorry, look, you said Class 67, didn't you? Oh right, okay, I know what you're talking about. Brian Allen, you got 3 Mark III coaches and vinyls. Does putting vinyls on them, does that work? Because I've seen them advertised on on eBay of all places. I've seen vinyls advertised on eBay, and yeah, and in particular they've got I saw sort of LMS Crimson Red with gold bands going down the side. You'd work on speed step 1, 2, 6 and work downwards. Yeah. Well, you're probably right. And you're right. I say, Tony, you're right about U-Choose. What I've noticed, Zemo have got a. I mean, they sell like a stay alive circuit board. Look at that, you see. Speed set 126, right? Forwards, it's all what you'd expect, and then going backwards, suddenly it's gone slower. So that's almost good, but it's not good, really, is it? It's bad. So I don't know what to do with that. Anyway, yeah, Zemo, they sell a keep alive circuit. You can then obviously stick some capacitors on. So I got my head around that, and how you put it between the ground and the positive voltage. So I'm using a mounting plate for Next 18, and so I'll be taking a couple of wires off that mounting plate and then going into the charging circuit, which is fine. But what they've actually got is a mounting plate with the charging circuit built in. So then all you've got to do is attach your capacitor to that, depending on what you've got and what you can fit. And and then that's going to give you a good keep alive solution, and also a sort of Next 18 plug it in and out solution. So I think that's the way to go. But the only problem is that unit, although Zemo may manufacture it, the only place I can find that sells it is in Poland, and they want £20 postage to send it. So I think we need to. Well, it looks like Zemo only starts shipping it in November, so I might say to be patient before it turn up in the shops. But I think that's going to be the way to go for doing the rest of my conversions. Right. What we got here? Whiteball Wheel says, when the loco goes slow, check the volt. I have got a voltmeter. And I know what you're saying. What I don't know though is how can I attach the voltmeter to the loco while it's going? I mean that's obviously what you're saying. That's what I want to do. I want to sort of and actually it's not going to, because it uses pulse width modulation, doesn't it? So it's not a matter of measuring the voltage. It's a matter of what's the size of the pulses. But it's using EMF monitoring or whatever it is. So to know how, this is what I don't understand. Back EMF, that's what I'm saying. If it's using back EMF, then the decoder should be able to figure out how fast the motor's spinning. So it should be able to keep it at a constant speed. So I'm going to struggle with that. Hey, Growler, how you doing? Right. So, who else was? Someone else was saying to me. I'll get behind on the chat. Right. So I've got to work out what to do with this curve. I think what I'm going to do is just rerun every test that's come in slower than the previous test. If that makes sense. Now maybe the previous test is the one that's too high. So that's no good. Let me. Oh, I'll tell you what. You were saying I'm going to right click on 126. Oh, look at that. Select the speed step 5. So really, that's what I should be doing. Just select every fifth one. Oh, well, that's very sensible. Right. anyway, let me run through this. So 101 wants redoing because that's slower than 96, and 111 wants redoing. And 119. Oh, and 126. Right, let's give it a go. Right. You can't easily measure DCC voltage on a meter. You need a DC meter. Yeah. Okay, Jeff. So here's the thing about voltage. So I'm using a Digitrax DCS 210. Okay. And the manual there, and other people on the internet confirmed, you can actually measure the voltage on that quite easily by just measuring the voltage, which it's got like a ground output. So rail A to ground, and then separately ground A, ground to rail B. And if you add those up, that will give you your voltage, your DCC voltage. Now I've played around with that, and the reason is that I made a bit of a decision. See, it's flattening those curves out a bit now. It's coming in with some better speeds, hopefully. Oh no, hold on, what's going on? Yeah, see, 111. Right, so anyway, so I know what my voltage is. Now the reason is I've got a gauge switch on the controller. Now obviously I run N gauge, so I put it on N. And that gives me a DCC voltage of 13 volts. But if I switch it to HO, that'll give me a DCC voltage of 15 volts. Now, all the decoders I'm using, they're sort of happily run a 00 gauge model as well. So until they can cope with having a 15 volt DCC bus. So I thought, well, why not just put it on that, give it more power? So that's what I've done. Everything seems to run all right. I'm not blowing anything up. So there we go. You see these EMO controllers, decoders, you can also pick a voltage that you want it to level out at. So if you've got a inconsistent, you haven't got a smooth DCC voltage, then you can sort of set it in the controller, and typically you'd set it sort of like half a volt less than what the DCC voltage is supposed to be. So you're burning off a little bit in the decoder, but then you've got a steady input to the decoder. You run your N-gauge layout on 15 volts. Yeah. So Jeff, is that a good thing to do? N-gauge layout isn't the way it's supposed to work. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It is an N-gauge layout. So I should possibly put it on N-gauge. Guys, I've been filming the running section for the end of your next video. Train's been misbehaving as soon as the camera gets pointed at them. You're right. There is something about the camera being there that makes it all go wrong, isn't there? And you can measure the track voltage on your DR5000 and on your alpha meter. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm a bit unsure about whether it's a good idea to have it on 15 volts or 13 volts, but anyway, I'm going for 15 volts at the moment, and that's sort of why I got to recalibrate all my locos now. But I've always had trouble calibrating this one. Do you know what? I think that's possibly the best speed curve I've had for a while. I mean, I've fiddled around with this a lot. That's good. Actually, I've got a consistent speed for speed step 126. So that's really good. I'm a little bit unhappy with, which one is it? Is it that one? No, it's that one. 111. Let me run 111 one more time. Jeff says, what have I got CV 2 and 3 set up? Right, so this is the point. So to do these tests, I have CV 0. Oh, sorry, CV2. CV2 is the rate of acceleration. No, oh right, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Sorry, right, CV2 is the starting voltage. I can't remember what I got it set at, but probably the default. CV3 and 4. Look, and now it's gone the other way. Look what it's done. Right, I'm just going to delete that reading, and then we'll just have, there we go, we'll just smooth it across the middle, because I'm fed up with that. Right, so CV3 is the rate of acceleration, and CV4 is the rate of deceleration. So what I do is I set CV3 to be 1 or 0 or whatever it is, meaning, you know, don't just accelerate straight away, go straight off. And then I set CV4, the deceleration, to be a certain amount. I can't remember what. So it slows down slowly. And the reason I do that is so that when it stops, it's then got a little run up to get itself going up to speed before it starts measuring the next run. So, you know, it'll give itself an extra sort of 6 inches or whatever, and then it goes off the next one straight out the thing. And by the time it's covered those 6 inches, you know, it's any sort of wheel slip or whatever, you know, it's got itself up to speed. So I think that's a good thing to do. I think that sort of makes it more consistent. Oh dear. Right. What am I going to do with this? It's just one more, which is 101. Shall I just leave it at that? Go on, you guys decide. Shall I leave it at that and just let it sort of smooth it out and do its magic? And I'll try and run it like that. See if I can get the thing to actually move from block to block and stop in the right place. If you're using iTrain, set CV3 and 4 to 0. Yeah, no, so when I'm using it, that's what I'll do. I'll set CV3 and 4 to 0 and let iTrain deal with the acceleration and deceleration. But when I'm doing speed calibration, I set CV4 to be, I don't know, 10, whatever, 20, you know, just something. So it slows down a bit more slowly, and then that just sets it up better for the next run. Because otherwise, it'll just stop immediately once it's come off the next block, and then it needs time to speed up. Right, I'm going to say apply, and we'll see how we go. So we haven't really done any of the lower speeds. So let me bore you all. I'll just do one test at 16, which will take a while. Let me see. I don't know if you can see the train moving, you know, back and forward on the screen. Oh, it's going. It's not going that slowly. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, having done that, then I will. I'll apply the speed curve, and then we'll see if I can get it to drive round and round and round. I did another fun thing with this loco, just playing about. I So I got 3 trains. I got 2 sets of coaches and a goods train, and I got the I got this class 50 to pull all 3 of them all the way round up the hill. it, it was struggling a little bit up the hill, but it made it. Yeah, we got it, which is good. Whereas my 8F, it's starting to get a lot of wheel slip now. I think I've got to change the traction size on the 8F. But I've not had it that long. I've certainly not run it. I mean, it's not like I'm always playing trains. I spend most of my time video editing for you guys, to be honest. Right. Where's it? It's there somewhere. Right. 4 miles an hour. Speed step 16. No, it's not. Yeah. So it's got a bit of an S curve, but I'm quite pleased with the curve. It's reasonably linear, which is around about what I want. I set the top speed. I also, in the CV, I also set the mid speed, whatever it is, middle speed. So it's CV6. I've got a list of CVs in front of me. Jeff says, set 3 and 4 to 0. Clear all previous results. Select speed step 6. Yeah. If you start changing to after some speed steps, will be wrong. Yeah, no, I've not. I don't know about that, Jeff. Well, all right. I'll take your advice then. But I'll clear the whole out and set all the set CV 3 and 4 to 0 and run it again. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You set the decoder up and then you do your calibration. Right. There we go. So we got a. Oh, and that's good. Forwards and backwards, it's both coming at 4.5. So I'm going to apply that, and we'll see. Let's see where we go. There we go. And it's sort of filled it in, and it's a bit chunky, clunky, around 101. So not sure about that, but there we go. We'll then be consistent. Okay. Right. Let me just drive the class 50 around a bit. See if I can get it to go. Right. Seems to be driving. So what we're looking for here is where does it stop? Now, so it should stop about here. We'll see. I'll say it should stop about here. Don't even hear me. Slow down, too far. Oh dear. Why does it always do this? So it's gone too far. It suggests it goes faster than it did in the test. That's what that suggests, doesn't it? Or that suggests that my just set it where it actually is. Either it's going faster than it did in the test, or my measurement of that length of track is wrong. That's the other option. There we do. Right, where's it going? It's going to re-emerge in a minute. Oh, okay. Well, that has stopped. Just. I'll move the camera. There we go. Hopefully you can see that has stopped just short of the end of the block, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Let me move it on then. Let's see if it gets near the end of block 4. See, if it can do every block apart from one, then that obviously there's a problem with the measurement of that block, isn't there, rather than anything else. Now, this is the block it was actually doing the speed test on. So I'd hope that it actually stops in the right place. And that has stopped. Yeah, that has stopped just short of the point. So that's good. All right, let me give it another chance on this this block here coming out of the coming out. Right. So I'm looking for it to stop about here. No chance. No chance. Oh dear. Well, maybe it's just too. Maybe that length of track's just too short. Oh, I don't think so. It could be because you have CV4 set, not set to there. Oh, Jeff, you're so right. I'm such a fool. Yes, of course. I need to. Now I've done my test, I need to set my CV. I can do that from here. Let me just do that. Do it in operations mode. Zero. So okay. Let's try that again. Right. Oh. No, don't do that. It's going to send it along a route and there's some coaches. Get these out of the way before it crashes. Well, Jeff, you are a bit of a genius because that has stopped exactly where I wanted it to. You're quite right. That's exactly what the problem was. Right, let's get these pencils out of the way. coming off the track there. Where's that stopped? That stopped at a reasonable place as well. All right, in a minute I'll hook this thing up to a train. And we can have some fun. Again, that has stopped just short of the end of the block, so that's good. Right. Let's see if it can go down that middle one. Yeah, hence why you need to do all the speed testing with CV 3 and 4 set to 0. I don't know, Jeff. I don't agree with you on that. I think having the deceleration set to more doesn't affect the testing, because it won't try and slow it down until it's gone all the way through the block, and then it just takes a bit longer to stop. But anyway, if I don't want to say you're wrong, so let's have a look. See, that's stopping in a good place as well. It's working quite well now. Quite pleased with that. Quite pleased with that speed curve. Also, in the loco editor, options, what settings do I have? Well, I'll show you. There you go, locomotive editor. Options. Set to be engaged. Normal polarity. I've got inertia simulation, so when iTrain runs it, it goes fast and slow, so on. And I've got occupancy feedbacks tested, set, and I've measured those. And a reaction delay, I've never quite understood what that is, but perhaps you can tell me. But yeah, those are the settings. Right, let me shunt it back. I'm going to go and try and pick up that train. And then we can play trains and go roundy round. There we go, it's going back now. While I'm at it, what else have I got? The goods train is lined up. That's all good. Is it now fixed? Whitewall Wheel says, is it now fixed? Well, nah, we'll see. We'll see. It seems to be okay at the moment, maybe. So we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Right, hasn't quite picked up that train. Let me help it. There we go. Right, off we go. Let's go play trains. And in the meantime, I'll send the mix freight. Sounds okay. Right. So I think the mixed rate's going round, or should be going round in a minute. Good. There we go. And then I'm going to try and move the Jubilee out to pick up the third train. Now I'll just see if I can keep them orbiting round a bit. I haven't recalibrated the Jubilee or the mixed rate, so that may not work very well. And my 8F always slips just to the point where it's at. There we go. You're struggling to get around that corner. And it's got up eventually. So the Passenger Express is coming out now. This is the Jubilee. I'm going to get him to shunt himself into lane 8, and then he can pick up his coaches there. Wow, well, amazingly, I got that going in under an hour. I'm quite impressed. I wasn't making much progress to start with. Okay. So hopefully, just make sure that before you do the speed test, you clear the previous test. Oh yeah, no, I mean, of course I do that. Right. I don't know if you saw that. What's just happened? one of the coaches has derailed and fallen off the track, and left 3 of them behind. Now we're about to get the crash. Right, now to stop it, now to stop it. Right, for some reason, all my coaches are derailing. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, let's try and go again. So I think I do sometimes get coupling issues on that S curve. I think I might need to do a bit more analysis on that. And everything's crashed. So what's happened there? Right. So the passenger express is supposed to go into lane 3. But for some reason it has followed the class 50 into lane 1. Why is it? Why is that? All right. Let's try and reserve that route. And then we'll drive it. Not massively impressed by all that, I gotta say. Not massively impressed. Right. Let's see. So for some reason it's just driven a class 15 into the back of a frog. Oh dear. It needs a while just to sort everything out. Train appears in unexpected block. Yeah, that's got an unmuddle as well. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, right. Sometimes I think I don't quite understand why it gets in a muddle, but I disconnect it and reconnect it. And then I think I need to just wait for like a long time for all the points to set themselves. I think I'd love to know if there's a way around that. That seems to be a bit of a problem. never quite know what it's doing at this point. It's sort of running this right down the bottom right. It has a little green bar that goes across, and I sort of figure that means it's trying to make itself happy somehow. Right, let's try and drive some trains around. There we go, we set a route. So that's good. Class 50 can go there. Passenger Express. Can go to there. Right. Right, they've all got something to do. Hopefully they'll just get on and quietly do it. Ooh. Right. Here comes class 50. Hopefully that's going to stop short of the uphill block, which it does, that's good. Once that uphill block's clear, then the class 50 will move on. There we go. And now the passenger express should get going. Yeah, got 3 trains on the move at the same time. That's just what we want. If I just press play, and immediately it says route's not possible. Right, let's move the mixed freight to lane number 1. I think all my sort of pre-planned routes will start on lane number 1. So if I go through lane number 1, so I'll just start there. Well, so that can give itself some route, so that's good. Let's see if I can keep all 3 of these whizzing around. So actually, the class 50 hasn't let me down yet in terms of the speed profiling. So I'm pleased with that. Oh, the passenger express can do a route as well. So we're getting them all running automatically in a minute. Like to say, the mixed freight is not quick. But that's probably the way it should be. Especially going up the hill, it's not quick. you're off for now. Hey, thanks for dropping in, Whitewall Wheels. Good to have you here. For some reason, we haven't. Do it slowly. Yeah, so my mixed freight is it's running too slow, I think. And I think that's just because it hasn't got any traction. I got to get some traction first for it. That's what it'll help. Oh. Tony says it's nice to see some trains running. You're right, it is nice to see some trains running. I think this is the first time I've sort of had three, whizzing around on their own at the same time. A few things not right, but yeah, it's feels like a good achievement. I say my next sort of big step is that I need to build the main line, because this is just the storage yard. What I got now, it's like a lower level storage yard, and then it's got these sort of two tracks. It goes up the hill, to the level of the main line, and you can probably see on the map, the top left-hand end. There's a couple of points there. It can join onto the main line, which will be four lines. It's actually one. It's a sort of loop twisted around. It's a single loop twisted around itself. But for a section, it will be 4 lines running side by side. Oh. Right, I'm going to have to recalibrate the 8F, I think. That is not. That doesn't make any sense. The speed it's going at. Can I please click on View and then Diagnosis, please? Oh, okay. View Diagnosis. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's a few things. So it's a bit unhappy with the routes. Freight route should not wait in the first item. Route move through all the sidings should not wait in the first item, and route passenger shunting shouldn't wait in the first item. I expect you'll have to tell me, Jeff, why those things are the case. And then I've got a feedback that's not used, but I don't know, worry too much about that. Oh. Yeah, I think the mixed freight needs some work, to be honest. So the Passenger Express, I'm going to stop that where it is. Past 50. It's going to past 50 is going to yard. Oh, it's going to lane 1, but it can't. So I'll move it to lane 2. And then I'll get the mixed freight into lane 3. Then I can set that up to do some. I can set that up to do some speed testing. Let me have a look at the speed profile for this down here. Well, that, I think that's not quite right, is it? I think I maybe got halfway through doing something with it. Email the iTrain for. So, what are you looking for, Jeff? I'm sure there's a problem with my routes, but I've not really got massively into it. But sure, I'll send you the. You'll have to. I'll tell you what. Send me an email, Jeff. There's a if you look at my YouTube channel on the about or something, there's an email there, email address. If you mail me on that, then I can mail you back. I'll send you my iTrain file, and you can have a look. I'll be grateful. Yeah, I think I need to go through and do a bit of something to sort this speed profile out for the ATF. Right. It's not stopping in place, is it? Right. Let's drive it round. I'm going to drive the ATF round to the start of the speed profiling, and I'll do the whole speed profiling exercise. Although having said that, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, so looking at it, I mean, it wants its top speed set, doesn't it? Easing its way around. Not in a hurry. I do like these Emo decoders. Very good at running at low speed. Here we go. This is great. Oh, shed a bit more light on the subject. Right, I'm just going to clear all that out. And there we go. I'm going to run some. No, stop everything. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Oh, I'm such a vandal. Right, I just drove at full speed into the back of the goods train because I haven't set the points. Very good. Zemo, very good. Yeah, no, you're right, Jeff. I'm very pleased I come across Zemo decoders. Right. There we go. Now, before we do all this, let's set the points. So, let's set the route for point. Okay, that should work. Let me just whiz it round track once. Make sure it goes the right way. That looks better. I don't want the accident. Right. Trying to drive it for me. So I think what I'm going to do, right, I'm ready. What I'm going to do is get like a brief sort of speed line. And then I'm going to set the top speed and then redo it. Speed measurements, locomotive. So we clear all that out. So set the speed to 10. And go. This is right. Okay. Well, you'll like this, Jeff, because it's stopping straight away. Yeah, 110, 100. Now, what's the top speed on it? What's the top speed on an 8F? I know, probably should be about 60 miles an hour, shouldn't it? Let me look it up. It tells me the tractive effort. What's the speed? Okay, wait for more capacity. There's nothing here that says how fast it goes. It's going reasonably well, but it's had a little funny there going backwards already. There you go. Could be seen hauling trains up to 60 miles an hour. All right, so we're going to set the top speed as 60. Jeff says 45. Right, okay. Or maybe max speed 43. Right. Oh, so actually having it crawling around was probably about right. So Jeff, do you sometimes get these inconsistent speed results? Because I find it amazingly frustrating. Yeah. Back and forth, back and forth. Standing at 8F and the clearances of that. Let's be at maximum speed 43. Where did that come from, Jeff? Was that, I was looking on Wikipedia, but perhaps that's not the place to be looking. Well, if I set it so it can go at, if I set the speed curve so it can go sort of up to about 55, 60, something like that, and then obviously I can set iTrain to only drive it at 43. Actually, this speed curve's looking all right. I'm wondering if I think I did fiddle around with it actually. So this is obviously very different to the last one. I think I did actually set the max speed CV on this one. So it's CV5. But I'm wondering if I should have set the middle speed as well. Anyway, we'll just have to wait until we get the whole speed curve. So apart from that reading of speed set 16 going backwards, it's obviously wrong. The rest of them are quite good. So yeah, change CV5 to 80. That's yeah. Well, I said I think I've already set. I think I've already changed CV5 just because I wanted to get like a linear chart. So the way the chart was before I ran this, it sort of went right up to about 100 and then it flattened off. And so I think I set CV5 already. So I got the linear bit and not the flat bit. So now it's sort of, that's a bit more helpful. Yeah. Yeah, and that'll be why it was it wasn't giving accurate results. It's because I'd set CV5, but I hadn't recalibrated it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I've got to say, there's nothing terribly good fun to do while you're waiting for a bunch of speed tests to come in. Yeah, it's gonna level out. In a minute, I'll put it on the programming track and see. Put it on the programming track and see what CVs are set to. I can't remember. Yeah. I might have written on the paperwork actually. So, Traffic Charlie got me doing this. Got a folder, got a bit of paperwork for each focus. It's a sign of becoming an old man, I think. So, no, I haven't written anything on this paperwork, I don't think. Where are we down to? We've just done one at 6 miles an hour. Alright, this won't take forever, I don't think. Back and forth, back and forth. Jeff says, so you need to change CV5 again, then run speed step 126 only. Keep changing CV5 and run again until the maximum speed is correct. Once done, run for all the speed steps. Yeah, no, I know, I'm with it. I know what you're saying, Jeff. I know what you're saying. I think what I've wanted to do is just try and get a linear line so I can see, you know, over what speed ranges do I sort of get a consistent speed and get a reliable speed. This looks quite good, all apart from that one test that didn't seem to work. Going backwards. Anyway, I'll run it again. Yeah, see, I think I've already set CV. CV5 to something. Somewhere in the middle of it. Right. So it's just doing, oh, there you go, it's doing 6 miles an hour, and then this will be the last test. If you do that, you'll get reliable speed. Yes, sir. Yeah. You'll do as on top. Hope that helps. Yeah, no. You're quite right, Jeff. You're quite right. I have to say it's difficult to sort of be methodical and consistent, in your process. Got to work your way through it. The trouble is, the more you work on something, the more you find a problem, and then you find another problem, and then another problem. CV5 must be wrong if the train's getting 100 miles an hour. Yeah, no. So at the moment, CV5 is set so that at speed step 226, the model is going at its maximum speed, i.e. as fast as it possibly can. And that means I get a linear graph, or reasonably linear graph. So at least then I can explore all the speeds the model can go at. But you're right, Jeff. The question then is how fast do I actually want the train to go? And if it's supposed to be going no more than 43 miles an hour, then I better set that. So that's what it does. This is the last run, the last test, and then we'll be able to crank on. But I'm quite pleased. You see, it's the same speed forwards and backwards, pretty much. A little bit different. But that's why I'm having issues. You set the speed set to the maximum speed that you want the train to run. Yeah, I get that. Right. I think that's done my last. Presumably I set. That was 0.4 on the last one, isn't it? So, right. Let me run this one test one more time. Because I didn't like the result I got there. One. That's better. That's better. I can't help you by text message yours because no, it's all right, Jeff. Yeah. No, I think to be honest, it's really useful to have someone who understands all this stuff, seeing what I'm doing and commenting. Right, there we go. So I've got a reasonably linear chart, so that's good. So I think if I apply that, then iTrain can drive the train, accurately. But you're right. The next thing is what is the realistic sort of speed of the model. Anyway, let me apply that. I'm a bit happy with that, and I'm gonna read back the CV5. We'll see what it's set to. There we go. Right. good. This, the table the computer's on is a pasting table. I've just knocked the support out. So, I'm unlucky. The table collapsed. Right. Program. Size. Display. Let's come back as 0. This is the other one. Sure, I'm accurately reading the CVs back. Maybe 7 without a central limit. Okay. So CV5 is 0. I'm really surprised at that. I'm really surprised. Okay. So if we have a look at the speed curve, now I remember looking this up on the Zemo decoder website. Let me have a look, see if I can. Somewhere I've got the PDF for the instructions for the actual decoder, and that describes in a bit more detail what all this how the CVs work. I just want to have a look at that, to be honest. Away. Product details. Zemo decoders. Here we go. Right. I think I've got the PDF here. Save. Programming. There you go, top speed. So CV5 is set to a value between 1 and 255, applied as the highest external speed step. So if we're saying that the fastest it will go internally, it's 255. So if we want it to run maximum speed of 60, that intersects at about 65. So if I set speed maximum CV5 to 120, or let's say 130, 120. Let's do 120, and then that should be about right. Change CV5 to 80 and repeat. Okay. There we go. Okay, change CV5 to 80 and repeat. All right. My guess is it needs to be 120, but we will we'll do what Jeff says. Let's set CV5 to 80. 80. That's it. Looking good. Okay. So that. Oh. Right, we are all set now. So let me rerun top speed. Okay, and start. There we go. Well, it's coming down the hill a lot slower now, Jeff. You probably can't see it on the stream. You'll see it in a moment. There we go. There we go. So I think Jeff's trying to get top speed to be 43 miles an hour. I was trying to get top speed to be 60 miles an hour. But it's come out to 25. Not sure about that, Jeff. I'll clear all the previous speed sets first. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, I just want to see the curve so we can do it again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set CV5 to be. Stop that. I'm going to set CV5 to be. Back. 120. because then I think I'm going to get a top speed of about 60 miles an hour. But that's quite right. Once we've sort of calibrated it right, then once we got the top speed worked out, then we can do the full calibration. Right. Calibration. Yeah. So 120 we're going for. There we go. Let's done that. Right. Let's run the test again. Whoops. Going backwards. There we go. Set it in forwards. It's better. Right, we run the test again. It's going a bit quicker. So I reckon this top speed's going to be about 60. Okay. Oh, 55. What about that? That is not bad. That is not bad. Now, what's the explanation of CVs? So 6, the medium speed. The internal speed step, that is 64. So we want 64 to be half of 55, don't we? So 30 miles an hour would be 40. So that'd be set the mid speed to be 80. CV6 be 80. Or not 30, 45, 42. So 85. These 6 and 7 on factory settings, you say? All right. Okay. I mean, I just don't like when you get a really sort of slow, shallow. Sorry, anyone. You get a really shallow sort of going in DS. There we go. All right. Well, like you say, let's just bump it up a little bit. Program 5.2. 125. There we go. Right. I will clear it all out. And we'll run speed set 10. And we'll do the lot. This will take 10 minutes, but hopefully we'll be cooking on gas by the time we're done. There you go, 61.9 miles an hour. There we go. So if the top speed's 43. Oh no, it's gone backwards at 70. Why is everything always so inconsistent? It's looking better. No, I'm not sure yet. I prefer it to be a bit flatter, but I suppose. Oh, whatever. Quite a small speed, so it's fine. Well, yeah. I mean, that's fine. We can do that in due course. I mean, it looks good apart from the 126 one just being way too fast. That's faster than I expected it to be, anyway. Hmm. Yeah. See, it's looking good now. I just don't like that top speed one. I'll do that again. Hopefully I'll get something a bit more sensible. So Jeff, what do you think about traction tyres then? I mean, this I got this 8F, or I don't know, a couple of years ago, but I've hardly driven it, and oh yeah, so I've hardly driven it, but it's definitely loses traction, and it's just on one certain point on the layout, and I've tried really hard to sort of, you know, I didn't think that was going to be a steep bit. It's not supposed to be a steep bit. I think I've just drawn it, built it, maybe just slightly out of tolerance. But it's where it's just going around that S curve. And just as the S curve changes direction, that's when it starts to move upwards. And, I think it's a combination of being on the curve and going up the hill. I don't know, it doesn't bode very well for the. I'm going to put helix on this eventually. It doesn't bode very well for the helix. We can't get up there. Did the model come with traction? Yeah, no, it comes with traction tyres. I just don't know how often I need to replace them. I think that's the issue. Yeah, going to the stream in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but hopefully I'll get this calibration done, and then we can whiz it round and prove it's working a bit better to ourselves. And then I have to knock the stream on the head, I think. Got my boys here somewhere knocking around, probably wants my attention. This is what I hate about doing these, is at the slow speeds it takes forever. Some people use bullfrog snot and others. Yeah, I mean, you know, I shouldn't have to. But it's fine. I don't have to use bullfrog snot. Because it comes with traction tyres. And it pulled quite well. I mean, I think it pulled quite well when the tyres were new. So that's the issue. The question is, how long do they last? Yawny. See, the line's quite good, all the way up to all the way up to the last bit. And then it goes wrong massively. Is it made by? Yeah, it's Farish. I mean, it's one that it's like last year's model. It's a good model as well. Nice. Well, I did drop it on the floor a couple of months ago, and I've noticed one of the handrails has been slightly dinked. Like, oh, it's so gutted. But in general, it's all right. It's a good model. So Jeff, another thing you might be able to advise me on. So the Zemo decoders, you can set them up so that when you say go, it plays a bunch of sounds first. You know, getting the engine going, boom boom, before it sets off. But obviously that messes up iTrain, because iTrain thinks it starts moving straight away. But I think there's a setting in iTrain somewhere where you can tell it to do. You can tell it to do that to start with. So you set iTrain up to play the sounds, and then drive the logo, and then iTrain knows where it is. But I suppose the question is that true? Does it work? And all that. Where's the setting? I can't think. Oh, it's running a speed measurement. Can't do it. Yeah, I'll have to look at that in a minute. But yeah, that's one of the things I want to do. So when I turn the sound on, then iTrain's not so good at running them. It's still moving. I mean, it's quite good. It's quite reliable. It doesn't stall or anything like that. But I do want to get keeper lives in my locos where I can. To give me a bit more capacity. I don't know how easily you can see on the screen the loco going back and forward. Obviously makes for a very dull stream after a while. Jeff says, tyres should be okay after 1 year. Yeah. But I mean, presumably there's no harm in changing them. The only issue is I'm just a bit anxious about messing up the the gear valve gear stuff. Use rare communal there. It detects the local decoder on each feedback. Yeah. Does that? I mean, does that give you anything though, Jeff? Because I was tempted down the Digitrax line because I was influenced by watching Traffic Charlie, and he's into Digitrax. But actually, I don't think there's anything terribly good about Digitrax. And you got to get it from America, and it's a pain. So yeah, I think the European stuff's better. Anyway, Digitrax uses transponding, they call it. So my original plan was to do that, but then I realised once I got into, did I want iTrain or train controller, and I realised that actually I didn't need. You don't need to. Yeah. I realised I didn't need transponding or railcom, equivalent, because iTrain can work out where the train goes anyway, based on where it should be. So yeah, does railcom actually give you anything? I'm not sure. I mean, I think a similar thing is, and if the train appears, if the wrong train appears in a block, well, like everything's gone wrong anyway, hasn't it? So how does it help you to know that? If it's not, if it doesn't work as it's predicted to, then it's not working. So what have you got? Anyway, I mean, a similar thing. I've got a point motor's not working properly. Needs to be replaced. So from what I see from the settings in iTrain and so on, you can have you can get it to monitor the actual position of the motor. You use one of the sort of thrown switches that's built into the point motor to feed back the actual position of the motor. So you detect that you ask it to switch and it doesn't switch. But then what does that get you? I mean, it tells you your point motor's broken, but it doesn't say the day. Everything's still broken. It still stops and doesn't work properly. So yeah, and if iTrain detects if the train appears in a block it wasn't expecting it to, iTrain will just have a bit of a fit and stop anyway. So what's that doing now? Again, I don't know if it gives you anything or not. Right, where are we up to with this? We're down to 4 miles an hour on the speed step 36. Blimey. It is going to crawl for the last one. So it's going to do 16 and 6. So probably not the end of the world. Do the last bit. It's just going to take a while. What's the trouble? Now those ZMA decoders really are good at driving it slow. Because I've got a Digitrax control decoder in my Jubilee, and it like speed step 1, it's sort of bombing around at 4 miles an hour, I think. Which obviously I don't want. Yeah, look at that. See the lines go almost completely flat. This is why I wanted to raise the mid speed to try and get it a bit more linear. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's coming back. Can you see it coming back? I think it's just pulling into the camera shot now. Okay. It's difficult to get cameras to cover the whole layout. There you go. But if I sit there like that, you can see the ramp as well, can't you? That's quite good. Been good, gotta go. Turn's cook dinner. Yeah, you too. You take care, Jeff. Thanks for all your advice. Been really helpful. Right, we're nearly done on this. Then we can play trains. Right, and this is a really slow one. It's coming. Could be worse, could be slower. It's going to take a while. Oh yeah, yeah. I will, Jeff. But drop me. I'll send you that file. But drop me an email. I don't know what your email address is. All right. This is literally a stream of watching paint dry, isn't it? Oh, now, Mike. What speed is it going to come out at, do you think? I think it's probably doing a scale 1.5 miles an hour. I think. I've seen it do a lot slower. I'd say that when I was calibrating the car 1250, speed step 1 was 0.4 miles an hour, something like that. Okay. Took a matter of 2.4. Right. All right. Right, just got to go through that again there in the other direction, and we should be done. It's creeping back into shot. Yeah. Yeah, me. Oh. It's nice to have a bit of a Christmas break, I've got to say. Have a chance to have a little play with the trains. sure. Not sure who's left watching. I said there's some viewers, so you can't complain. Never quite know. Never quite know who's here. That's the trouble. It's always good to have people say hello, you know. Try to lure you into conversation. Ah, there we go, right. 2.4, 2.5. Well, that's good. So I think the only thing I want to do is just have another look at that last top speed step, because I don't believe that's accurate, to be honest. I'll run that again. Six speed, 61.6. All right. Well, I said I thought it was going to be about 60. So, okay, fine. But going backwards, there's no way it should be 72. Looks a bit better. There we go. Bang on. Bang on. And I reckon that 116 then, that's slightly out. That should be nearer 50 in both directions. I will run that. There we go. That looks a lot better. Oh, that's much better. Look at that. That's a beautiful curve, there's. Now, what's this one here? 66, is it? Speed step 66. It's a little bit out. It's redoing the whole lot, actually. So it's something I don't want it to do. Stop it in a minute. So we've got this last one. We're doing 106 now. There we go. That's the last speed. Nice curve. Nice curve. Right. What was the using speed step 66? That one. Just a little bit out. Yeah, that's a beautiful curve. Other than that, I think that's the way it should be. I have to say, they run a bit more consistently once they've had a bit of a run around, you know. Sort of you have to do it twice, you know. Oh, look at that. That's nice. That is nice. Right, I'm going to stick with that. Set that 0.4. So anything below 6 is made up. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let me apply that. There we go. Right. Where are we? So mixed freight, I haven't got any mixed freight on it because its actual train is in lane 3. So let me tell it to shunt into lane 3. Hopefully. Can't start, no reservations. Oh. A lot, route block does not match. Okay. There we go. Right. Now, we can then take it to shows. Can't start no reservations. What that means. Block route does not match block. I don't know what any of that means. All right. I want it to go at 43 miles an hour. Good. The question is, when are we going to stop? It's stopped. Stopped at least before the end. Could be worse. Right, let's shunt it back. Hopefully it'll pick up its good straight. And then we can set the trains running again. Going at 25 miles an hour. Nice, nice, nice. Right. There we go. If I set all 3 trains running on a route, you can see, hopefully, I'll get them all going. Could be. Got back to the old class 50 deciding that it's not going to work anymore. Oh dear, how boring. Right. Well, I think I have to stop the stream there. I think there's a problem with the class 50 and it needs a bit of fixing. Anyway, look, thanks for joining me, and I think I'll end the stream there. So sorry, it's been a bit of a mammoth stream. We'll have to talk again. All right, take care.